He was on his way to the gun range when he ran out of gas and left his car. And in the time that he left his car and got 3 houses from home, the police responded to his car being, left on the side of the road, ran his plates, saw his name was Muhammad, saw a gun locked in a case in the car, and basically put on an APD, 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 that he could be armed and dangerous. So that's all happening while Muhammad is walking from the car to 3 houses from home. And then I call him Dick and Muttley. If you all are familiar with the Hanna-Barbera Wacky Races cartoons, you'll know who Dick and Muttley are. And the one officer that killed Muhammad looks exactly like Muttley. At any rate, so Dick and Muttley are up the road monitoring a senior citizens metropolitan housing building on a Sunday morning with no body cams, an unmarked car, no cherries and berries, no markings, no nothing. They hear all this. They know that they're right up the street. So they come down. They basically get out of the car, guns drawn. You can see it in the video. Now, I said no body cams. So for the longest time, it was their word against nothing. But there was a video from a business across the street. And thank God. And I just got the clearest copy of that video last week. That's how long they've been holding this shit from me. Anyways, thank God the business that had the video across the street, it shows Muhammad was sitting down and had lit up a cigarette. And you see him, you see the spark from the lighter, and then all of a sudden you see this white car pull up and they block the lanes, and you see him look, and they're already out, guns drawn. They never fathomed using any other means of force. And you see him look, and then you see him stand up, and you see him put his hands up. And they kept saying, we don't know why he didn't keep complying. He just put his hands down. Well, here to come find out, the reason he put his hands down is because he had taken a direct shot to the chest. And my tough ass Muhammad kept on moving. And after he took that shot to the chest and dropped his hands, he turned and went on the other side of this tree line. One of them tried to grab him and he swatted at him. And then you see him take about 5 steps and fall face down. I also have an eyewitness that matches the video. The cops said, oh, he twisted. One of them said he twisted and had his hand on the gun. The other one said, oh, no, he had the gun down by his side. Their stories are different. But the one thing they both say is that he fell, like he twisted, and then when they shot him and he fell on his back. If you can't see anything else in this grainy video, you can tell that the man did not fall on his back. You can see, he was in purple camouflage. So you can see these purple camouflage arms swinging, and then all of a sudden, boom, face down. You don't see no twist, and you can tell. Even if you're far away, you can tell if somebody falls face down or back down. At least I can. You can tell if they're in forward movement or if they're falling on their back and their legs fly up in the air. They're trying to say that he turned and he never did. This eyewitness was interviewed by the Akron Beacon Journal, which is the main paper in Akron. And I got a text from the reporter saying that he was told to bury the story and that this eyewitness interview would never be printed. Channel 5 came down and did the same thing. They did an exclusive interview with me and the lead witness, and it never aired. When I called to find out why, they said, oh, it's in the file. We'll let you know if we have any questions. On top of that, the lead witness continues to get buried because guess who wasn't called to my Muhammad's grand jury? That's right. This eyewitness that saw my Muhammad running for or walking speedily for his life, not showing any gun, not showing any or posing any threat, and definitely not twisting and looking like he was going to grab something. Yes, that eyewitness was never called to testify at the grand jury for my Muhammad. Subsequently, the two officers were, not charged with anything and left to walk the streets. On down the road, I found out that one of the officers is a trainer who arrogantly said, yes, I've trained everybody currently on the force. Think about it. Think about it. Nobody in Akron wants to hear this part or make acknowledgement of this part. If he says that he trained every officer currently on the force in Akron, who does that mean he trained? The 8 officers that came after him. Nobody wants to hear that. No, that doesn't matter. No. No.
He trained a bunch of killers.
Just want to focus on Jalen. Sorry, he was shot at over, 90 times and took, 40 or whatever. Yours doesn't matter. Yours isn't as bad as his. Bye, Kim. Yeah. And there's 3 examples right there. The Beacon Journal, Channel 5, and the grand jury. Burying my lead witness. Burying my lead witness.
That's what they do, unfortunately, sis. That's what they do. They're gonna bury, they're gonna always try to cover their ass. Because you already in they law, you already guilty. You guilty and you gotta prove your innocence. So when they kill our loved ones, they instantly become a suspect, but they never let you hear the 911 tape that they was looking for.
Yeah, they waited 504 days to let my daughter and I know what happened to her father. Yeah, and they have all these celebrations in Akron. Like they had a Mother's Day celebration for Jalen's mom. Her first Mother's Day without Jalen. What about my daughter in a wheelchair without her father for the rest of her life? Excuse me. They have a birthday party for him every year. You've all seen the week of action they have done around his death, and you can ask anybody. You can look through all the footage. You will never see a mention, a whisper of Muhammad. Or if they happen to, it's probably because I'm around somewhere and had to remind them. But it'll be this much. They sit around and say, oh, God, I'm so tired of hearing about Muhammad. When his name isn't said 1/10 of the amount that Jalen's is.
I think
there have been documentaries done on Akron. Am I right, John Tell? That have not mentioned my Muhammad.
Yeah, I got a question. Did you get to walk to Joy Park?
I ain't going over to Joy Park. They can kiss my ass right now.
I think part of it is about optics because Jalen Walker is bankable. Who like you hear about almost 100 shots, you go, oh my God. You know what I mean? That's what gets people. And he also was a black man and has a black mother. I think for a lot of people that tugs at the strings, it's now getting like national attention and whatnot. You see all these powerful millionaire activists, as Lisa likes to say, joining forces with people like the Freedom Bloc and whatnot. That's the epitome of what it is. It's optics. It's about symbolism. And unfortunately, to be realistic, to them, you don't fit in with that.
Oh, hell no, I don't. And I don't want to. They can all kiss my ass. Because you've heard me say it. You can go back and watch a video I did. It's pinned on my page where it lays it out, the entire story. And you can hear me on there. And this was like a year ago because I finally got tired of having to tell his story over and over and over. And then people still don't watch the video anyway. So I don't even know why. But at any rate, you hear me say on there, I am not messing with anybody local or state anymore. I'm doing things only national. You're not going to hear me scheduling any events for Muhammad anymore. Y'all can kiss my ass. And I'm tired of having to remind Akron. I'm tired of getting shot down by Akron when I don't do near as much for Muhammad as is done for Jalen. You know, my Muhammad was harassed the same as Jalen was, probably worse. They turned on their body cams after they killed him long enough to show Muhammad being handcuffed so hard that it noted severe handcuff wounds on his autopsy. Then they had the audacity to stand over him and ridicule and harass him. They left him in a 15-degree temperature field with no barricades, no cover, no tent, no blanket, with his pants ripped down around his ankles. And they stood over him. One of the officer that is a trainer, I won't say his name, the officer that is the arrogant old trainer, who is a former Marine, by the way, he stood over him and said, one officer came up behind him and tapped him and said, "Nice shot." And he turned around and said, "Yeah, he zigged when he should have zagged." Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, now it gets worse. I guess they figured out that they didn't have good reason for killing him because they decided they were going to go up to his apartment and ransack his apartment looking for terroristic materials that they didn't find. And they ended up finding some more ammunition because he was going to the gun range. He's going to have some with him, and he's probably going to have some at home too. And they still have not only the clothing that he was wearing that day, they took over 200 items out of the house, and they still have them to this day. Yes. What are you trying to hide? And they all know too that I'm like the most hated white woman in Akron. I'm sure they've got 60 pictures of me up in the Akron Police Department and laugh at me every damn day. Don't care. But I lost my train of thought.
Don't worry, it's okay. But can I give you some advice, sis? Can I give you some advice?
You know I always look to you for advice. You've been in this longer than me, and you're another tough ass like me. You're not a pansy.
Listen to me. Don't worry about what they doing for some other family. Focus on what you're supposed to do for Muhammad. It ain't about the quantity, it's about the quality, sis. See, you got to get out there like me. They don't say my son's name. I wear these family kids' names all over my clothing. They don't do that for me, but I ain't worried about them because he my son. And I'm going to keep uplifting his name, and I'm going to force him to hear his name because wherever I go, I'm going to speak out. You know, God gave me this voice, and he told me to speak on it. Don't worry about what they ain't doing for Muhammad. Do your fight. Fight your fight, because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one in the courtroom getting the victory easy. Put your boots to the ground like you've been doing. When they do events, do your own events. I know, I see you. You going to the right places. You going to the people that actually killed your kid, to the police station. Don't stop. Keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. Because see, guess what? You're going to be the one that gets something out of it. I'm going to tell you, this shit ain't easy. Sis, I've been in this for 7 years, bro. 7 long years. Do you hear me? And I'm going to keep it a buck with you. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. No, it ain't. You just got what you got to do is, now that you know and you woke, you just got to weed these people out that say they for you and they really against you. And I'm going to tell you, when they going to want to be your friend, when you get that victory, then you're going to be a part of the club.
When I get that victory, I'm not going to have a long list of people to thank.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you.
And you can even hear me saying it. You can watch my hashtags. I'm going to start a group called Bite Me Akron, because I am so over all of it. All of it. It ain't just the Freedom Block, the NAACP. We can call out some other names of organizers and organizations.
There's a whole bunch of them.
Oh, shoot. Dude, no.
And they just got 2.4 million, so why they can't help the people? Right. See, I heard about everything that what's Amazon wife got a divorce from her husband. She gave Freedom Block 2.4 million, the NAACP, and then they also got a grant out there right now as we speak, that if you got a 501(c) and you lying and saying that you fighting for these people, they got $100,000 grant out there for you. So they getting all this money, but they ain't trying to help nobody. And Freedom Block, they call themselves trying to have a meeting with us families. They wanted to host a meeting so we could talk about what happened in Akron, Ohio. But this is the funny part. They had enough money to hire an advisor to try to do a Zoom with us. I told the other people, I don't want to do no Zoom with them. I said, because if I get on the Zoom, this all I'm going to say is $, Cash App, $, accountability 98. I don't got nothing else to say to you. Because first of all, if you got enough money to pay somebody to talk to me, then you got enough money to pay me for disrespecting me and making me lose days at work to come stand with nobody. Because I don't even know y'all. I don't want to talk to y'all. Y'all showed me how y'all feel and what y'all was really about. Get out this fight though. Let's talk about that. Won't you donate that 2.4 million to the community of Akron? Because you ain't doing nothing with the money. You ain't doing nothing with the money. You ain't building no building fund at your church, revenue and cash. You ain't doing none of that. You and your sister is swindlers. And the little girl y'all got on y'all team that always like to run up on women, the Bob. Y'all using people. Y'all using the death of our men, women, and children to stack y'all bank accounts. Get your job back. Call your old employer and tell them that you're ready to come back to work, because I promise you, y'all getting out this police terrorism fight because y'all ain't ready. This ain't about you. Y'all,
they ain't ready for it.
And you let me tell you what I don't like either. This is what really, like, I just be paying attention to people's lives and looking and seeing what's going on. For you activists that ain't never been in the play, why go to another family event to get into it with another activist? You a man and you want to challenge a woman, and that you think that give you big balls? No, that shows that you're not really a man and that you need a pair of panties on. Because if you fighting for this family, if you got a problem with somebody else, that supposed to wait. That ain't the time. If you out here representing this family, that ain't the time to get into it with another activist as a representative of a dead kid, because you're not respecting that family, period. Y'all going around and moving how y'all moving. Y'all collecting all this money. Y'all going state to state saying that y'all talk for all of us. I tried to reach out to Cortez Rice because I wanted to know why he felt like he should get paid. First off, if you out here asking people for money to bury a dead child that you don't even know they parent, how you asking for money in the first place? And if you raised it for the kid, get a whole bag to the parent. But right, you want 10 stacks, you want 10 stacks off the top for what? This is not a job. This is not, I promise you this ain't a job. I never signed no papers for them to kill my 18-year-old black son. I never signed no type of papers. This ain't a job. I never seen the application that y'all put in, because I would have told them, no, they ain't a good candidate. I never seen the application. Right. I don't understand how y'all be giving these people titles. You feel me? And the titles that y'all giving them, they don't even stand up or measures or weights to the title that y'all give them. Y'all got Andrew Joseph running around this fight talking about he the street coordinator. Who gave you that job as a street coordinator, bruh? How you street coordinating for some families, but you ain't street coordinating for all families? But you the one got the platform. When y'all go to Washington, D.C., I didn't hear you say one kid name when you were speaking on that speaking thing. All I heard you, I didn't hear you say jail the killer cops. I didn't hear you say reopen the cases. You talking about your shit. You want to be a street coordinator? With all due respect, bro, because this is what I'm tired of too in this fight. All these people coming to our fight and they children didn't even get killed by the police. It ain't the same. Do we care and do we feel about y'all losing y'all kids? Hell motherfucking yeah. Yes. Yes. Because don't nobody deserve to die, not these kids. They our future. But y'all can't keep jumping in this police terrorism fight and taking over our fight and causing separation and division. And the police didn't kill y'all kids. Is that fair to a mother that don't ever get to tell her story that the police killed her kid, or fair to a wife that never get to tell her story that the police killed her husband? Or fair to a father that the police killed his kid in his face, Kevin Kellum, and he never get to tell his story? Because in this fight, you got to be chosen. What you mean you got to be chosen? If you a father in this and you in this fight and you lost your kid, you should have all the extras that all the other fathers have that lost their kids in this fight in the same way. If you a mother in this fight that lost their kid, you should have all the extras that every other mother got in this fight that lost their kid. If you a loved one that lost your husband, your wife, you should have the same thing. How is it a difference? How is it all this separation and division in this fight? And ain't nobody fighting for changes because everybody accepting change. I'm going to say that again. Ain't nobody fighting for changes because everybody accepting change. Oh, just because they doing it for you is cool. But oh, it's 10 other mothers in your state that ain't getting no help, but you ain't going to even mention them because it's just all about your kid. No, it's about all these men, women, and children that's dying globally by the hand of the police that was never put on America to protect and serve us, period. We ain't reaching one, teaching one. We'll get on the phone. We'll talk about another father to another mother and another father that's in that fight. And we ain't never even met them. It's so many of y'all got my name in y'all mouth, but I love it. Keep on talking, baby. Because the more you talk, the more God keeps showing me favor. Don't stop. Don't stop. And another thing, y'all be getting mad at us families when we be trying to bring attention to what's going on in these states about how these police is getting down. Because see, they put their own narrative out. The news is the biggest liar. They never gonna put out our narrative because they work with the police too. But y'all get mad at these families when they be trying to show y'all something. They ain't trying to exploit your child. They not even speaking their own words. They speaking on what the police narrative is. But they pointing out stuff in your case so that you can be aware. But the cold part about it is some of y'all been in this fight as long as me, and y'all ain't never did no research on your own case. But then when a new mother come in, because she trying to get justice for her kid, she supposed to do research. She supposed to pull out what she need to pull out to make her case stronger. Y'all get mad. But when Black Lives Matter and made this $528 million off y'all, flights and t-shirts hit different. Ain't none of y'all got nothing to say because y'all getting them coins. How much did they pay y'all to hate Lisa Simpson? How much money did they give you? Because I'm going to tell you, my guy said it wasn't enough. Huh? It wasn't enough. Because November the 6th, 2023, the mother of Richard, Lisa Simpson, going to get a victory. You better know it. You better know it. My son didn't die for nothing. Nah, he sure didn't. He didn't die for nothing. He didn't die for nothing. Why y'all feel like y'all can just brush us up under the rug because why? It wasn't no lights, camera, actions? Well, I got a question. How many of y'all in this fight right now, the police went to jail and y'all's death? Or did they get a promotion just like my son's police officers did? Is they still on the force? Huh? So you ain't no better than me. You ain't no better than me. You going through the same thing I'm going through. So what your title doing? What's up with your title? Your title who? Your title what? Your title, what your title doing? Your title ain't doing nothing. What I'm gonna need you to do is put that title in the trash. Because it ain't beneficial to you or this fight. No, and all the separation and division that y'all out here keep saying I'm a part of, that ain't Lisa Simpson. That ain't Lisa Simpson, because I ain't got nothing against Nair family in this fight. But am I disappointed in a lot of y'all? Yep, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Because we could have been so far if Black Lives Matter never came in this fight. But y'all like to listen to other people, and y'all the ones that lost y'all loved ones. How they gonna tell you how you supposed to move, how you supposed to talk? They only around you when it's the incident. Soon as the incident over, they on to the next family. Call them right now and tell them that your rent is due. Tell them that you about to be homeless and you need some help. I guarantee you they're going to tell you a smoker and they ain't going to give you 50 cents.
This why the fact that families need to come out with their own organizations, their own, because if it continues, whether it's with the NAACP, Freedom Bloc, Black